All right, this is going to be a little bit of a ramble on how I knew I was trans, or some of the ways that kind of clued me into how I knew I was trans. Um, One of the things is so for my whole adult life, I felt like I was really confused about my attraction. And so, like, kind of what I'm going to talk about is like attraction versus like jealousy or envy. Um, versus identity. And so, like, I had a boyfriend in high school. Was I particularly attracted to him? No. I mean, I remember saying out loud to his face, it'd be so much easier if you were a woman. Um, that should have clued me off right there. Because at that point, I didn't know that I was gay either. Anyway, in my 20s, after I realized I was gay, um, I still I was confused because like I would still check out guys, and there was a part of me that was like trying to figure out why I was so obsessed with how they looked and what they were wearing and all of that kind of stuff. And in my head at the time, I just kind of had like the idea that I must be attracted to them. So then I was like, well, maybe I'm bisexual. But when I kind of stepped back from thinking along those lines, I always landed back in a place of like, no, I really am attracted to women. That's who I love and want to look at, and like who I'm attracted to romantically. So it was about like, I don't know, 2 years ago or so that I was around this guy who was very obviously straight, and he was talking about how he's always looking at other men, and my ears perked up. Like, it was a group that I was in, but I heard him say that and my ears perked up, and I was like, huh. So I was really paying attention at that point, and he's like, yeah, I'm always looking at other men whenever I'm out and about, and noticing their style, like what clothes they're wearing, what shoes they're wearing, and that kind of stuff. And I swear it was like this epiphany went off in my head, like, oh, that's what I've been doing my whole life, is being envious of other guys that I'm looking at. Like, I really like their clothes and I wish I could wear them. Those shoes are kick ass and I wish I could fit into them. Um, and their physiques. Like, I remember when, um, Brad Pitt was in, this was a long time ago, when that movie Legends of the Fall came out, and Brad Pitt was on the cover of, I think, Vogue magazine or some kind of fashion magazine. And I was not the kind of person that ever bought magazines and Googled over things, but I remember seeing that sitting on the rack in the grocery store and picking it up and bringing it home. And, it was the phase in his career where he had like the really long blonde hair and was just chiseled as hell. And, um, there was like a multi-page centerfold of him posing in all different different outfits and stuff. And I was like obsessed with looking at those pictures. And at the time, I was kind of, again, confused. I'm like, why do I want to look at this so much? Um, and it was really me like looking at him and being like, man, I wish my body looked like that, or was, at least shaped like that. Like, I didn't have curves, and um I wish I could rock those clothes that he has on because they're so cool. And so anyway, yeah, many years later, I'm in this group of people, hear this gentleman say that he checks out guys so that he kind of knows like how to fashion himself, and I'm just like, "Ugh, duh." So that's one of the things that happened that kind of like clued me in. um the other thing that happened is I went fully through menopause. Like at this point, I am postmenopausal because I had to have a hysterectomy when I was 38 due to some really bad endometriosis. And so they did leave my ovaries at the time, but they stopped working pretty quickly. They were pretty diseased themselves. Um, so it didn't take long for me to have all those hormonal shifts and go through menopause. And so then being on the other side of that, like my body changed a lot. I gained a lot of weight, couldn't take it off no matter what I did, like exercising, eating, it doesn't matter. Um, Everything kind of softening out, like, my cheeks getting fuller and double chin and just more curvy. And prior to my top surgery, my boobs had gotten a lot bigger. Like they were the biggest they'd ever been in my life, which drove me nuts. And and that was another thing where before I recognized that I was trans, I was looking at my body going like, why do I hate this so much? Like, I love women's bodies. I think it's so beautiful how women age and become softer and get wrinkles. And like, I have always maintained that that's just a normal part of aging and that it's a sacred thing. And, getting to the point of becoming a crone is like the highest honor that you could have in your life. And so I was really confused about why I was not having that at all, about my own body changing. And so that was part of the thing where I was like stepping back from myself and looking at it from a different perspective and understanding, like, oh, I don't like this because I feel like I should be in a male body, and a male body doesn't look like this as it ages. I mean, you get what I'm saying. Um, so those were two kind of like major things that kind of helped me in my revelation of understanding myself as a trans masculine person. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to put that out there in case it helps anybody um, figure it out for themselves. But yeah, if this resonates with you, let me know.